Mm. So I'm just going to dive in and get started. I've actually had a few things happen in the lead up to this video with my Facebook, which has been really interesting. That the Facebook event that I created um, hasn't worked. So I put it up and it's still up and it's still active, but Facebook aren't really allowing anybody to share it. No one's allowed to tag. I'm not allowed to post in the group. I can't invite any more people. And I feel like that's happened for a reason. I don't know what that reason is right now, but I definitely feel it's happened for a reason. And I feel that it almost didn't want me to have anybody to come on this call or something because no one's here. And it's almost to test me because I'm not feeling so great today, which I'll talk about in a moment's time. But I think it's almost just testing me right now. How much am I still able to give, and how much do I need to honor myself and this like balancing act? So yeah, I'm not feeling great today. The people I've been living with have kind of all been dropping like flies over the last week, and I'm the last one. And I was like, I've not got sick. I'm going to be the only one that's not sick. And we're all detox specialists, and we're all extremely healthy. And even the couple that I'm here with, their children have never really been sick in their whole lives, and they got sick too. So it's not the coronavirus, it's not dengue fever that's also going around. We just picked up something, and it's not being crazy bad or anything. It's been mild, but I think it's all just happened for a reason, and it's really just to make us all fully slow down and just have a bit of a reset. Because when you get sick, it's like a big detox, it's a big purge when your body is releasing mucus and all of that. Thankfully, my body has been quite gentle with me. It's not too bad, but I'm just feeling really hot. I've got some sweats and just not really able to do much. So I kind of feel like I needed a soft experience today. So maybe that's why this has all happened for a reason. But here I am, and thankfully so many people sent me over questions that said they couldn't make it today. So I have a long list, and I'm not sure I'll be able to get through all of them, but I'm certainly going to try to get through as many as possible. Thankfully, I'm not that long-winded, bit of a one-word or one-sentence wonder. I get my messages out quite concisely, which I think really helps for you to absorb the information as well, and it also helps me to get through as many questions as possible quickly. So yeah, I'll start to dive in a moment's time. But firstly, I just wanted to touch on why I created this workshop. And it's just a Q&A, question and answer, where people can ask me questions, because I find I'd rather speak about things that people are interested in or things that are alive for people right now. And it's in line with a coaching program that I have called the Love, Health and Abundance Mentorship Program. And I created this mainly for women, but men can of course join too. And I designed it basically to address those three key areas, because I feel that love, health and abundance are really all that we need to be happy, and it's what we all want. Whenever I ask people what they're calling, and they're like, I want to be in love, and I want to love myself, and I want to feel healthy, and I want to be abundant. And when I say abundant, I don't just mean wealthy. I mean abundant. Like, you want to feel like you have an abundance of food, and you want to feel like you have an abundance of joy, an abundance of love, an abundance of everything. Abundance is a much bigger word than just finance. It's a lot bigger than that. But of course that comes with it. We all want to be comfortable, and we all want to have enough to buy everything that we need, as long as it's not in excess. So yeah, so that's what I created this workshop about. So thank you for everybody that sent me in your questions. I just also want to highlight that today is May the 5th, and it's a special day. The lunar nodes are actually changing. The last about approximately a year and a half, they've been sitting in Cancer and Capricorn, which basically rules my chart. So I've been feeling it a lot, and it's all been about structure. It's all been about home life, reviewing things, how we feel, are we comfortable, are we secure? And at the last couple of days, I've really felt this heightened, and that's quite normal. Often at the beginning of an energy shift and an ending, you can often feel it heightened, and like any last bits that you need to review. But I'm also starting to feel the new shift, which comes in today, which is in Sagittarius and Gemini. And this is all going to be about seeking the truth and exploring the mind, you know, what is real, what is not. And I'm really excited for this wave. And the last time that we had this these lunar nodes come in was actually right after 9/11. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens around like travel restrictions and changes. It's all kind of in alignment. And if you follow me on Instagram, on my story today, I shared some more information about this. It's I am Jodie Louise. Check it out if you would like to know more. Yeah, and I guess, you know, this is all about you and the people that ask me questions. You know, the theme was through this challenging time. And I just want to remind you that as much as it can be challenging, I'm seeing this as a huge opportunity for us to go within and for us to write. I'm really, really, really excited to see how many people are actually shifting. And a little bit with that lunar nodes as well, with the Gemini energy, that's like when you look at it, it's like the twins, it's the two different people. And what I'm starting to see is there's almost like we're going in two different directions right now. So some people are still wanting things to go back to how they were, and other people are like, no, we want this to change, we want this to be different, we want life to change. And I'm really feeling, I mean, myself, I'm like, let's go, let's have this change, I'm ready for it. And I think that we're going to see more and more of this divide starting to happen. So a little bit like the Matrix, when you decide to take the red or blue pill, like what direction are you going to go in when things go back to how they were? Because there is going to be an element of that happening soon, where things open again. Are you going to go back to how you were, or are you going to make changes in your life? And, you know, for me, I'm making huge changes, huge leaps and bounds, and I'm seeing so many people around me too. So everyone that's doing the work, congratulations. And everyone that's kind of holding on, if you're watching this, you know, what are you scared of? What, you know, change can be scary, but change is also super exciting. And yeah, let's go there. So this is a beautiful opportunity. Use this time that you have left. If you're in lockdown for another couple of days, a week, or even a month, use this time to really go within. So yeah, but I thought I might just quickly start off by saying, yeah, I've been feeling a little bit under the weather. So I thought I might start by sharing what I've been doing to support myself through this time, because a lot of the questions kind of have tied into this. Like, what are you doing to take care of yourself? And being a detox specialist and health coach, these are things that I guess I embody really, really well. And it's like the back of my hand. So what I've been doing is I've still been getting up and doing a morning practice, but I've just been going really gentle with my body because I've been feeling a little bit like tired, a bit lethargic. So I've been doing a gentle walk around the island, a bit of light swimming, which is all really gentle on the nervous system, because if you push the nervous system too much, you're just going to create stress in the body and your immune system is going to drop. So it's really important to always be calming your nervous system, actually. Otherwise, you are susceptible to illness and catching things. So if you're feeling a bit run down, definitely take it slow and listen to the body. Like some days you might feel really energized and want to do a huge workout, and then other times not so much. So yeah, I've been doing a light walk, light swim, been doing some pranayama and breathing. There's a beautiful pranayama breath called the skull shining breath. And this one, it's basically where you pump air out of the nose, and it's designed to flush the skull. And this one's great for preventing you from getting sick. So it's one of my favorite breaths to do. And I've been doing some meditation, visualizing myself being healthy and well, and eating. I've been basically the last 10 days just been eating fruit. I've had the occasional salad, and I'm working my way into a juice detox starting this evening, and into, don't know, maybe like 2 weeks doing a juice detox, and a lot of dry fasting as well. And I've been doing intermittent dry fasting over the past couple of days too, because that really helps burn away anything that's kind of festering and lingering. And I've also got some wonderful herbs I've been taking that I always have on standby, and some homeopathics too. So yeah, if you want to ask me anything more about that, please feel free to send me a direct message on Facebook or Instagram, and I'd be happy to share with you more pointers as well. And I did write an article too, and you can see a link in my bio to that, all about kind of how to survive through this time and my tips for staying healthy. So yeah, let me know if you want me to send that over to you. So yeah, I'm just looking at these questions that I've got. Yeah, so somebody asked me about the most challenging thing that's happened for me during this lockdown. And the most challenging thing I've been experiencing is needing space and needing some alone time. And I'm sure a lot of people can relate right now. I know some people are by themselves, and maybe you're craving connection and being with people. But for me, I'm always alone a lot of the time. And my human design, I don't know if you know what that is, but it's basically a bit like astrology, and actually brings in astrology into that. It's created on many other paradigms as well. And it says that I need to be alone like 60 to 70% of the time. And I've been here sharing a room for the last month with somebody, and also sharing a house. And I'm used to having a lot more space than that. And thankfully, the people I'm here with are absolutely incredible. And I haven't actually once needed to put up boundaries, really. Maybe once, but not really. Like, you know, there are times where I think, oh, maybe I need more space right now. But I've also really been loving the community as well, which has been really beautiful, and taking plenty of time to retreat and just do my own thing, which has been beautiful. But the ways that I've been handling that have been, every morning I've been clear that I want to have my own morning practice. So I go out in the morning. I don't do that with anyone. If anyone wants to connect, I don't check my phone, nothing like that at all. And that's really been my way of coping through that. Yeah, that's been my biggest challenge, I would say. So yeah. And this kind of leads on to the next question somebody asked me about how to set boundaries with people. And you know, boundaries are really, really important. And a lot of the time we can say, you know, someone's like invading my space, but they don't realize that they have. So it's really important that you're really clear about your needs with people. And there's so much shame and guilt and feeling bad around voicing what our needs actually are. And there's nothing to be ashamed of. I mean, it's actually worse the other way, because other people don't know unless you tell them, and then they're going to start feeling bad. And often when you open up about how you're feeling, then you inspire them to do the same. So if you're living with somebody right now and you feel like they're stepping on your toes a bit, just when you're not feeling irritated, because that's not the best time to communicate, when you're feeling kind of calm and you've done a meditation or a walk or something, say, hey, would you have a minute to have a chat? And just be super, super vulnerable about what's alive for you, and just share, hey, right now I'm feeling like I need some more space, and that you're in my space a lot of the time, and that this is my stuff, this isn't you. I love you and thank you for wanting to spend time with me, but right now I'm feeling I'd like to spend my mornings alone, and in the evenings after 9 p.m. I want to be in silence, or something like that. Whatever feels good for you, just really voice what's alive, because if you don't, then people don't know. And yeah, you're just servicing your relationship, and eventually you're going to blow up and have a screaming match or something, which isn't healthy or nice for anybody. So yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, and I've been asked what my self-love practices are. So I kind of briefly touched on what they are, but I did write a bit of a list here. I mentioned the walking and the meditation. I also do a practice called shaking, and shaking is incredible to just like shake out anything that doesn't serve you. And I often do it if I'm feeling any anger or any emotions that are stuck, and I move it through. So yeah, shaking is one of my favorite self-love practices, and you can just put one song on and do shaking like throughout the day to break it up as well. So a couple of people have actually asked me to do lives on this, so at some point I will. I've just been in a really internal space right now, but I definitely want to be creating more videos really soon, and I will be. So yeah, I dance a lot. I eat incredibly well. I eat with so much love. Everything I eat, I eat it, and like it's hard to explain, but I kind of look at my food, I give it love, and when I eat it, it's just like nourishing my body. It's just, yeah, I eat with so much love. Like I eat like I love myself. I won't eat things that hurt me. I mean, of course, sometimes I make mistakes, we all do, but it's all about just eating what makes me feel good. There's no good or bad food. It's like what feels good for me. And that's my mantra. And I love to do mirror work. Something that I've struggled with for a lot of my life is my appearance, and not loving myself in that way, and struggling with my skin or how I look or my weight or something like that. And I do a lot of mirror work to help me through this. And I say, you are so beautiful, Jodie. I love you. You're incredible and perfect as you are. And it's such a powerful practice. And then sometimes I dance in front of the mirror with no clothes on, fully naked. And that is just such a powerful and beautiful practice to do, and I absolutely love it. So I highly, highly recommend that in a big way. And I also do body massage. Breast massage is a big one for me too. You know, it's important to do breast massage for the women out there, and just touching yourself and loving yourself, and touching yourself how you want your lover to touch you, and whether you have one or you don't. It's really important to know how you like to be touched, Because often I hear women saying, you know, my man doesn't know how to touch me. It's like, do you even know how to touch yourself? So yeah, giving yourself a massage, and I hug myself, and sometimes I kiss myself, and just really love yourself up. That's one of my favorite practices to do. And the other thing I love, love, love to do, and is my form of self-love, is study. I love to read books, listen to audiobooks, and at the moment I'm studying astrology, and I love that. That's something I do every day as a part of my self-love practice, because for me it's like making time to learn and grow myself, and I do a lot of self-development and just learning. It's something that just gives me so much energy. So yeah, I do many other things, but they're my kind of main core practices. So yeah. Now, one of my beautiful friends, Abby, she asked me how to stop eating the second slice of cake. So I used to have the worst binge eating problem, like you can imagine. I would eat a whole packet of biscuits and then hide it, and then I'd want more, and I'd just eat and eat and eat, and I'd be so ashamed. I'd hide the evidence, and I was doing this from a really, really young age. So I've definitely learned some techniques along the way to support me with binge eating. And one of the biggest things is there is no good or bad. As soon as we remove the words good and bad, we step out of that space. And I briefly touched on this before about how I eat. It's like, just eat what makes you feel good. Eat like you love yourself. So when you go to eat something, be like, would I eat that if I loved myself? And remove the words good and bad. That's bad, that's naughty. And if you do eat something that is bad, change that wording around. You could say, I'm nourishing myself right now. I had a really crappy day and my boyfriend broke up with me, or whatever it is. And be like, I'm nourishing myself. This is what I need right now, and I freaking deserve it. I deserve this packet of biscuits, and I'm going to eat it with so much joy. Because when you shift that mindset from it being bad to I'm nourishing myself, your body's going to digest it better, for starters. And you're going to be eating it with a happier mindset. But eating it in a destructive way already, you're sending bad signals to your body, and that's not a good way to be eating at all. The other thing that I find really, really helps is if I'm feeling like binging, sometimes having a little bit. Because when I first feel that binge, what often happens when we're eating something bad is that we will stop, no, can't have that, I'm not allowed to have that, no, I really want it. And you look at it and you're like, oh, I really want those biscuits, and then you resist and resist and resist, and what ends up happening is then you end up binging and you eat so much. So that's my two biggest tips for trying not to eat the second piece of cake. You know, what would you do if you loved yourself, really? So yeah, but mindful eating is a big part of working with binge eating, and it's something that I've worked through a lot. So if you'd like to know more, definitely get in touch with me. I'd love to share more with you and hear your experience and what you're going through as well. So yeah. What have we got here? I've been asked, do I need to always buy organic produce? Okay, well, this is a really good question, actually, because organic isn't always best. Organic is more expensive, which, you know, that's because there's not as much of it available. And I truly believe the more that we buy organic, the cheaper it will become. But because it's not as in demand, in some places in the world, what can happen is the organic produce might not be local and it might not be fresh. So ultimately, what's really important is you want alive, living foods, and you want it to be local. So if it's neither of those two things, is organic better? And that's something that it's better to ask yourself, because ultimately there can be a lot of produce that actually is higher in nutritional benefits than the organic stuff. And there's a lot of science behind it. And ultimately, you just need to ask yourself, have a look at it. What looks fresh? Read where it's from. And if you can, find a farmer's market. Find someone that even delivers a farmer's market box. And often I go to the farmer's markets, I meet my farmer, so I feel the person that's grown my food, and I know that it's from the local area, because when you're eating from the local area, it's going to help with your immune system. If you're eating foods that are imported, that's designed for that climate, for what's going on there, that bacteria, because you pick up the bacteria from everything you're eating. So yeah, organic isn't always better. And also, like things with thick skins, it's also not as important. And there is like a dirty dozen list, like something like celery is said to have some of the most pesticides. So maybe celery is a better product to get organic versus maybe a banana. So yes, something to think about. Oh, I got an itch. It's really, really hot here right now. I'm just like steaming up and I'm like not feeling 100% either. I've also been asked, is fasting needed and all fruit? And what if I am in a cold country? Okay, so it really depends on your goals, what your body's doing and all of that, whether you need to do a big fast. If you've never done a fast before, I definitely recommend doing a fast, but it depends on your body and how toxic it is, and if you're ready to do a fast yet. Because a lot of people I meet, they're like, I want to do a fast, and they've never done anything to prepare their body. They go and do a fast, and then they end up making themselves more sick. So my approach to fasting is slow and steady wins the race. Let's take our time, let's slowly eliminate things and work our way into a fast. So if fasting is something that you're interested in doing, please get in touch. One of the reasons that fruit is so great to fast with is basically because fruit is so gentle on the body, so easy to digest, and it's basically one of the most optimal foods to eat. So that's why we work with fruit. And one of the questions I've been asked lower down, which I'll touch on now actually, is why do I get an upset stomach when I eat fruit? I want to eat more. Well, don't blame the fruit. The fruit is only revealing the problem within you. So it's an opportunity for you to see, what's going on in my body? You're getting really gassy. Okay, well, that's a sign that there's something going on in your digestive system. So push, 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 keep going. But don't push too much. You need to be gentle. So maybe it's actually rewinding a few steps backwards, cutting down the fruit a bit, having more fruits, having more vegetables, and definitely big salads. Because what can happen when you're eating fruit is it can stir everything up, and then it's not coming through. So you need to pull it out. And there's different types of binders that you can have. And yeah, these are all different things that you'll learn if you are to ever do a detox program with me, because there's many things to think about. And I learned the hard way myself. So yeah, I once did 2.5 months all fruit, and all this stuff went wrong because I didn't have any support. I didn't have someone to guide me through the process. I just watched a bunch of YouTube videos and thought I knew what I was doing. So yeah, if you need any support and want to do a fast, do let me know. And the question about what if it's cold? Well, if you're in a cold climate and you don't have access to fruits, well, maybe that's not the best detox, or it's not the best time. Or maybe there's a way that you can access some juice, and you could do a juice cleanse, because there are many different types of detoxes available. I mean, in most countries you can get orange juice, which is one of the best things to fast on. I once did 3 months basically living off dates and orange juice. One of the best detoxes I ever did, like incredible. So yeah, if you ever want to start looking at fasting or doing a detox, please get in touch, and I'd love to support you. I'm actually working on a detox program right now, but I still do one-to-one consults at the moment, but I'm trying to formalize a more detailed program that's kind of a bit more structured. But ultimately everyone's got a different body anyway, so it's always forever changing and adapting. But yeah. Oh, we've got so many questions. Let's have a look what we got here. So I've got a question here about what supplements should I take? Well, I don't know anything about you, so I can't actually make that judgment. And supplements is a funny one. It's like, I don't know if you also mean maybe like herbs as well, or homeopathics. There's many different types of things you can take to support you. When on a detox, I strongly recommend taking herbs to support you, because it makes things a lot more comfortable. And I actually, there's a brand that I like to work with that I believe they're doing a big sale over the next couple of days. So I'll be sure to share that. And they do a full detox kit actually, which is really beautiful to take. So maybe I could share that. I might do a post about it in a couple of days. But yeah, taking some herbs to support you are fantastic. But if you self-diagnose and you take herbs or supplements and things, you can actually hurt yourself. I hurt myself really bad. When I was younger, I was obsessed with taking vitamins, and I had no idea they were filled with fillers and synthetics, and they weren't actually doing me any good, and I stuffed my body up actually. So sometimes less is more, but then at other times, lots of herbs on a deep cleanse are really good. So yeah, be really careful and listen to your body. Only you know what's best, and really you'll be guided. But get support if you're unsure. That's something really important, like really important. I can't stress that enough, especially if you're taking any medication or anything. So there's certain things that can counteract and you can become very unwell. So yeah, see a herbalist. get a consultant with someone, and yeah, really be smart with that. So yeah. Okay. Is digestion connected to my energy? Well, yes, 100%. So the digestive system works harder than any other system in the body every day. I mean, the nervous system rules all of the systems basically, but the digestive system needs the most energy from us. It's constantly digesting and constantly doing things. So when you go on a fast, your digestive system stops, and then it can focus on healing other areas of the body. So it can very much be connected. If you're not having a lot of energy, it could be a sign your digestive system is weak. So it's not that you have no energy, it's that your digestive system is weak. So it could be worth exploring that. And that's why doing a colon cleanse or a fast could be super powerful for you to explore. So yeah, ask yourself, when was the last time I had more energy, and pay attention to that. Because you'll notice, for example, in nature, when an animal's sick, it stops eating. And you'll notice it in children too, but we often do the opposite. We get sick and like, give me all the food, because it kind of makes us feel better, but it's not working like that at all. So yeah. How to clear, can't read that one properly. Don't know what that one is, that's okay. Oh wait, how can I clear your energy field? I think she means, or he means, my energy field. So energy field, I guess, like that means if you're feeling like you're stressed, or maybe you've been with someone and you've felt that you've taken on their energy, or they're talking at you a lot and you're just feeling overwhelmed, there are many practices that you can do to help clear your space. And I recommend doing that after spending time with anyone, really. My favorite thing to do before bed is to have a shower and to wash away any energies that maybe I've picked up throughout the day. And I love to use like incense, or sage is incredible, Palo Santo, and just clear my space. And I often like to clear my room as well, and just clear it, make it fresh. I like to open the windows and let fresh sunlight and air blow through each day to keep things fresh and to clear my space. So yeah, you can also work with crystals. I have a shungite sphere, which is also really good for radiation and Wi-Fi, and I often take that out with me as well, and that's meant to protect me for a 2-meter radius. So yeah, many things you can do to protect your energy field. So yeah, but if you'd like to know anything more, do let me know. I hope that was what your question meant. I think that's what you meant. What else we got here? Getting through them. See, I told you I'm quite concise. What do we got here? How do I know if I'm making decisions from my mind or my heart? This is a great question. I actually have a book that I wrote with my dear sister Haley Madison, and this book is called From Fear to Intuition. And basically, fear is the mind and intuition is the heart, basically. So it's often you might have heard people say from fear to love. Well, love is intuition; they come from the same place. So how do you know if you're making decisions from your mind or your heart? So the biggest telltale for me is if I'm contracting, that's fear, right? The mind. And if I feel expansive, that's the heart and the intuition. So that's how I know if I'm making a decision from my heart or my mind. And sometimes the decision from my heart feels freaking crazy. It's got me to some wild places. But when I follow that, I always work out why. I always say that's why I went that way. And it makes, a lot of sense to me. So, yeah. Yeah. I'm just thinking if I have anything else to say about that. It's funny, I've written a whole book about this, and I'm like, do I have anything else to say about this? It's because of my mind today. I'm definitely not in top form. But I guess the mind is like a computer program. The mind has limits. The heart has no limit. It's infinite potential. So when we're operating from our mind space, we're really not serving ourselves. There's so much more. You go into your heart and it's like, so expansive. So yeah, trying to drop more into the heart space is super powerful, and there's some great meditations that you can do to really help you drop into that space. And the more you work with it and the more you identify the differences, you'll get yourself there much faster too. Let's have a look. Oh, I did briefly see this one before, but I didn't I didn't click. Someone obviously saw my story yesterday on Instagram. They've said, why do you do yoni and bumhole sun gazing? This is a funny one. Okay. So the sun gives you energy, it gives you life force. So when you expose your body to the sun, you're going to feel energized and have more life force. And in many different cultures and beliefs of thousands of years, they kind of say, this is the energy of life force all the way down to your bum hole. So I'm supercharging from that end, and supercharging my yoni as well. Yoni is the Sanskrit word for vagina. Sorry, men, if that's not something you wanted to hear, but I'm very in touch with my yoni. I'm very, very connected, and I feel that when I put sun on her, I'm number one, I've got no shame to get her out. I shouldn't be ashamed. I'm filling her up with beautiful sun. It's meant to be great if you suffer from any like yeast infections or anything like that, just to fully allow her to open and receive the energy from the sun. And many people say it helps them sleep, that it's great because it increases vitamin D, and that all links into other things. And it's also meant to be great for balancing hormones too. But my personal experience is that it just makes me feel energized and alive, and it feels really good. It was amazing, and I've got no shame, and I recommend everyone does it. Do it. It's amazing, but be careful. It's a very sensitive area. You don't want it to burn, so work your way up slowly. But it's similar to sun gazing, which is another practice that I do, and I've actually just started doing something where every day I'm increasing how long I stare at the sun, and I always do it when the sun is rising, because during the day it's too bright and dangerous, but when the sun is rising it's safe to do so. I take my shoes off around 6 a.m. I stare at the sun, and I start off 15-second increments every day. At the moment I'm up to like 4 minutes. It's something I've recently started, and I just keep staring, and then I close my eyes at the end, allow it to come in, and I've really been loving this practice. So yeah, maybe something you could try too. We've got the time right now to try all these different practices, right? So why not? Why not? What else have we got here? I got many questions, I told you, but no one's tried to join me, so I'm I'm guessing, like as I said, no one was meant to join. I had issues with the link, unfortunately, but that's okay. I can still post this afterwards, and everyone that sent their questions in can receive the answers, because I wouldn't have had time to get through them all anyway, so that's perfect. How can sexual energy be used for creativity? People obviously know me well. Well, I don't know if I'm going to be able to explain this that well. It's more of a feeling, but I guess the easiest way to explain it is we create babies with our sexual energy. So what else can we create? It's life force. So when we can harness that activity, that sexual activity within us, and we can move it through our bodies, we can project that out. Can you imagine? Actually, I got a great example. You see a guy, and like you're really, or a woman, and you're really attracted to them, and you feel everything switch on, but nothing happens. And then you're like all day long, like you can tell that they like you too. And then you're all day long, you're walking around and you're like thinking about them, and you're just walking differently and with energy. Or think about the day after you've had sex with someone, and you're just feeling so good. You're on top of the world. You're like, yeah, I feel good. And then you work better. You're more productive. That's how you'd harness it through. But for men, a lot of men in spiritual communities now are starting to hold back ejaculation. And you notice like MMA fighters, or people that are like do certain things, or they've got a big thing coming up, or you do medicine ceremonies, they'll hold back ejaculation too, because it's giving away your life force. And it's the same for women. When women are to orgasm, then they're giving away that life force too. So there's ways that you can circulate that energy through breath work, and you can keep that within yourself. So pretty fun to explore, working with the energy. And if you want to know more, again, please let me know, because I'm just touching briefly on all of these questions. And if there's something that you're really interested in, I can do like a more detailed video as well about it. That actually came quite naturally, actually. So yeah, that's great. What is food combining? Great question. This is something that I'm so passionate about. Food combining changed my life. It is a game changer. And so food combining is basically the basic principle of food combining is that different foods digest at different rates and also take different enzymes to digest. For example, some foods, the digestive process starts within the mouth. Other foods, it starts within the stomach. And if you mix those foods together, it gets really confusing. And other foods digest at different rates. For example, watermelon digests in half an hour. So if you have a huge bowl or a big piece of meat, like steak and chips, that takes hours to digest, then you have a bit of watermelon on top, you're going to get what's called melon belly, and you're going to feel rubbish. You're going to be burping and farting and feeling disgusting. And that goes even if you just have like a big salad with avocado and you have watermelon on top, you're probably not going to feel great either. So learning what foods go well together can really support you in feeling better in your digestion. It can help you to absorb better and have more energy because your digestive system is going to be functioning at a much better rate. So food combining is incredible. There's so many charts you can find on Google. If you need any support, let me know. But yeah, it's a it's mindful eating and food combining are two of my favorite things. And they have honestly just been the best things that ever happened to me. So yeah, get on it. Do you have any tips to manifest abundance? Yes, I do. I will briefly touch on my story around abundance, but I got myself in crazy debts when I was younger. And I'm like, I'm never going to be able to travel the world. I'm never going to be able to do anything. And I just was working 60-hour weeks nonstop. And within that, eventually I was like, I have to change this. So I started to do self-development. I started to learn. I started to experiment with like abundance mindset, money magic. I tried it all. And so I have learned some great tools on my way that have helped me to get to where I am. And the last 7 years I've been nomadic, traveling the world. I never thought that would happen. So it's like, even now I'm so grateful. And gratitude is exactly what brings in more abundance, because gratitude is the ultimate act of receiving. If you want to receive, you express gratitude. So what are you grateful for? What do you appreciate? Tell people what it is that you like in them, or what you're grateful for them being in your life for. If someone does something that makes you happy, share that. What are you grateful for? That's a beautiful way if you would like to receive energetically back. But another key thing that was a missing link for me is I didn't know how to receive. So like people would say, do you need a drink? I'll buy my own. Can I help you with anything? No, I don't need any help. And what that was creating was that I was telling the universe, I don't need any help. I don't need any support. I don't need to receive. And when that happens, you're just blocking off the energy completely. So if you're wanting to receive more in your life, you need to open your doors to receiving. So that is a huge piece. The other main thing that's really worked for me is doing what I love, living from the heart, and doing what I enjoy. Because if you're doing things you don't enjoy, you're just, it's not going to work. Simple. It's not going to work. But do what you love, and you are going to be attracting abundance in no time. And the question I always get back to that is, but if I do what I love, I won't make any money. Well, it's a gradual process. I'm not saying to go and quit your job straight away, but do more of what you love. And eventually you're going to get there. And stop saying yes to things you don't want. That is, yeah. I did do a post a couple of days about this though that could help, and I plan to do many more. But if you would like to know more, that's on my Instagram and Facebook page. Okay, what have we got here? How can I bring my business online? This is a question I've been getting a lot lately, basically because so many people have lost their jobs, or they're starting to think like, I want to do something different. What if we're in social isolation forever? So bringing your business online, I mean, I can't really answer that without knowing what your business is. So I've worked in business for over 12 years, and I've seen the industry just completely shift from being like print media and, you know, TV and radio campaigns to really going into social media. And I've been there at the forefront. I've done a lot of training in social media, and now I'm seeing it shift to being more and more online. And there's been some people I've been helping, like a lot of yoga teachers, I've been helping bring their offerings online. So if you would like to do something like that, let me know. Or if you're wanting to create a new business, I can definitely give you some guidance in that. But depending what your business is, I can't really give you a lot more insight into how to bring your business online. But I'd love to support you in some way. So please do get in touch with me. And you also asked me another question. How can you build trust with clients? This is a really good question and really important, because if they don't trust you, they're not going to buy from you. So one of the best things you can do is be authentic. If you're not authentic, they're going to see right through it. So really be truthful in who you are and show up as an authentic being, because there's going to be many people that like you and many people that don't. So they may as well like you for who you are, or dislike you for who you are, not for who you're not. Because eventually it's going to come out anyway. So be authentic, show yourself, and that's going to build the best trust that you can possibly build. And I did write some notes here. So really show that you care. That's going to be absolutely key. Show that you care. And sorry, 1 second. I'm just on a call. I'm sorry. Yeah, so show that you care. If you show that you care, that's going to be a big game changer. So ask people how they're doing, tune in with them, and yeah, you'll find that's going to be a lot better. And also, sorry, I got a little bit distracted there, and something came in my room, and I did say that I was on a call, so I apologize for that. Yeah, be generous. Being generous, give things to people. Like, if you care about your community, keep giving, and eventually they're going to give back to you. That is just the best piece of advice I can give you. Don't come from a scarcity mindset that everyone needs to pay me for things, and have different offerings for people too, entry level, medium and high. Have a high ticket offer, but also have something for people that can't afford anything yet, so they have a chance to get to know you. Put out videos, sharings, posts, and just keep giving from your heart, and people will eventually give back. So that's my greatest tips on building trust with people. Yeah, so that's all of my questions. I think so many. So I'm really grateful for how many questions that came through. And yeah, I apologize, I'm not my top form today. I'm feeling very hot and a little bit tired and depleted. So maybe it was perfect, me just having this space just with myself, but still feeling like I'm connecting with all of the people that asked me questions. So yeah, please let me know if you have any more questions, if you'd like me to do another one of these, or if there's anything else you'd like me to do a workshop on as part of this collective. And yeah, I'm sending you so much love through this time. Keep rising, keep growing. It's such a beautiful time to just rise and to grow and embrace the day with these south nodes, and the south and north node changing into Gemini and Sagittarius. And in 2 days, on May the 7th, there's a full moon in Scorpio, which is going to be a deeply transformational full moon. It's the last super moon of the year. So super moon means that it's close to us, really, really close. So we feel the effects amplified. And I feel this entire month is really going to be like starting to move into let's get the truth out. So if you have something you want to say, speak your truth. Seek the truth. The truth is coming. The world is changing. We are rising, and it's time to go to the new direction, because the old earth doesn't exist anymore. The only way is this way, in my opinion. So come along for the ride. Sending you so much love, and have a beautiful rest of your day, night, evening, whatever it is for you right now. Much love.